Welcome to Balls Brews, Pod 57. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Me and Chuck will pour a little tall.
It's pretty light.
You are 100% correct on how I love that.
That's really good.
Reefer Truck IPA by our boys down at Revision, y'all.
Can's really cool.
They rep Sparks, but they got a spot in Reno as well. So Reno Sparks area. Drinks at a 6.5. And like you guys were just saying, to be fair, it's a little mellow on the hops, and I kind of like that. But you do still get, it's called Reefer Truck, and it does have that dankness to it, though. It does. You can absolutely taste that, and I appreciate it. Really good fucking beer. I'm gonna suck this down pretty quick. I'm just pretty thirsty. We were talking off pod about how thirsty we were, so this might go down pretty quick.
What was it drinking at again, Chuck?
6.5.
Yeah, it says sweet pine. I don't think I've seen sweet pine on a beer before.
Is that maybe that's what cuts through that like aggressive, because it doesn't have.
It also has mandarin and gooseberry.
Gooseberry? Oh, shout. Okay, so it's got a whole mix of things going on with it. Then that makes sense because it's complex. To be fair,
yeah, it's different. That's why I brought those up because
I like it. I like it a lot. I definitely put that up there on a. I would have a multiple of these. Now, like I said, once again, I am very thirsty, so maybe that influences my opinion a little bit. But solid
good
beer.
Start.
Yeah, and
really good start to a 3-beer pod.
Yeah, you guys, I had some majorly good beers up in Seattle. Like. Ooh. Yeah, local brews all over the place. We were mostly in Bremerton, and they had a little bottle shop called Local Boys, which was a tap room, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The owner literally sources, he had 12 full doors, like, their own refrigerators of just Washington beer.
Wow.
It was so overwhelming. Nice. Now, it lent itself to, there was just a lot of hoppy beers, pretty much. There's a lot of pales, a lot of IPAs, a lot of hazies.
How many flights you do?
Well, dude, I drank. I mean, I was good. I was good, but no, it was so overwhelming. I didn't even choose. I just like I couldn't decide what beers I wanted to bring back, so I just didn't bring back any of them. But I drank a bunch of Hefeweizens. There was Silver City Brewing out there from Bremerton, which was awesome. On game day, so on Monday when we went back into the city, we went to the brewery for Elysian, which was rad.
Nice.
Had an amazing stout out there, and then a really good sour as well that they made. He had the Gose sour, and I had the black currant sour, and that was really, I think that's how you say it, or currant. Yeah, that was really tasty.
You hit up any other major breweries?
Pike, yeah. We trailed up because the venue that I went to go see Between the Buried and Me was a little further up the road on First. And Pike Brewing is right next to Pike Place Market, right off the pier right there. And so it's cool. It hits you out of nowhere, man. You just come around the street and boom, there it drops into Pike Place Market. And then you go down a little further and there was Pike, the brewery. And we got some nachos and some really tasty beer there too. We were drinking some reds. I had this dark red, which was super goddamn good. Like, I drank their hazy as well. That was the IPA. Everybody was kind of IPA leaning, so I lent myself more towards the hazy more often than the straightforward. But anytime I could find a porter, I drank a couple of porters. I was trying to drink dark. And then ciders, because the Seattle Cider Co. was up there. I had their Honey Crisp Apple. That was really good. I had this one from Schilling's. It was a mixed berry cider. That was really good. Nice. Yeah. And I had this natural... It was an organic rhubarb and strawberry seltzer that was like super light. It was.
That sounds interesting. I'd like to try that.
It was more just water it was like an aqua fresca kind of thing where just it was like
hint of flavor.
The various hint, but it had this nice. I don't know. It was weird. It had this really nice mouthfeel for a seltzer. A lot of good beer up there. Dude, I was shocked by how many breweries they have up there, man. Like,
no.
It really, I guess, hit me in the face, different cities, obviously, but and I guess it's different. I'm used to being from a state where you have a handful of cities in one corner and then a handful of cities in the other corner, and that's fucking it. We only have 10 cities in Nevada. In Washington, seriously, there's more.
Yes.
I'm speaking in hyperbole, but there are way more little necks of the woods all out there that are all making good beer, dude. So shout out to WA, bro, getting it done. And then at the ball game, I didn't want beer because I didn't want my gut to be that heavy. I wanted to eat, So I had just had some like local seltzers there, and that was good too.
Get some good park food.
To be fair, the garlic fries were fair. Fair. Exactly. I know. That was what I was looking forward to, right? That is like the number one ballpark food for sure. And then the Mariner dog was good, not great. So I mean, I don't want to, pump it up to if it wasn't. It was fair. It's kind of sucked. It was $20, and it was just like
standard price.
Right. No, to be fair, it wasn't terrible. $8 for the dog, $9 for the fries. It could have been worse. Everything up there was not that bad. I didn't feel gouged at any real moment. Like this hat was only $40 from the pro shop, so that's pretty much retail.
And since you're bringing up hats real quick, let me explain myself. So I am.
That is true. You're wearing an odd color scheme over there, sir.
Yeah. So I lost the March Madness bet, and Zach was the best of the three of us. So we weren't sure last pod if we were all going to be together, so we waited till now.
To pay off the bet. But your bet has been paid.
I am wearing this for the pod.
It's an ugly hat. It's a really ugly hat. The Sacramento, Las Vegas, Oakland A's.
Yeah, right. That's a good-looking hat.
You
might not like the team on it. It's a good-looking hat.
No, the balance of the hat does look nice. I'm not a huge fan of the mesh, but the color scheme itself, the colorway is nice. Yes. No, it's a shitty hat, though.
How's it feel, Trev? Does it wear nice?
Actually, it's a good fit.
Well, they're looking for fans now,
Yeah, you've seen the stadium lately. It is pathetic. Let's jump into something that is exciting.
Let's go.
NBA playoffs have started.
It
and
is.
We'll be starting. Basically, Thunder, I don't know their matchup yet as we're talking, and the Celtics don't know their matchup, but nobody's picking those teams, the Bulls or the Heat, to beat the Celtics because Jimmy's hurt, so Heat's done.
Yeah.
And then nobody's picking either of the other teams to beat the Thunder.
Kings or the Pelicans.
And the Pelicans and Zion's done with the hammy. So
right. And the Kings are not a 7-game series. They're not prepared to beat the Thunder 4 times.
I don't think so.
Once, maybe twice, but not 4.
No. So we're gonna pick We're gonna pick the whole thing like in March Madness bracket.
Let's go.
Another hat bet.
Okay.
First through third.
Dude, I don't want to lose this hat bet.
Thunder get whoever. Everybody's taking
Thunder. Easy on to the next round.
They play the 4-5 matchup between the Clippers and Mavs. I took the Mavs.
I took the Clips.
I took the Mavs. So let's split there.
I just think they're playoff deep.
Well, Kawhi hasn't played in the last month with that knee injury.
What do you think they're preparing for? They went out and they got that big ass lead to secure that 4th seed, and they said, all right, dude, let's fucking. They did exactly what the NBA was trying to avoid, right? Or it has constantly happened to the regular season, which is the devaluement of it. That's the play-in tournament and why they did that whole thing, or the in-season tournament, and they did that whole thing. This year they were trying to incentivize. So I think that it was smart to rest Kawhi. You knew that the top 3 were battling it out. You weren't going to jump any of them.
I don't know if they're resting him or if he's
or if it's truly
hurt.
Injured.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Then we'll see if he plays. But even if he doesn't, there's still enough firepower around there to win a series.
I just can't take a team with James Harden. That was my whole.
Yeah, don't blame you there. Shit lister.
I'm not picking the Clippers.
Shit lister.
Ever.
You don't have to.
The next matchup is a 6-3 matchup between the Suns and Timberwolves. This was a harder one for me.
I agree. I
really wanted to go Timberwolves, but the Suns have kind of come on lately, and I took the Suns.
Oof.
That might be the smart pick, but I went the Wolves.
Give me Ant Edwards.
Yeah.
Me too.
I know.
T-Wolves.
I do love watching Devin Booker, though.
I agree. No, I'm not saying that there's not. Of course, that 4 in Phoenix is insane, but they could win this first round. They absolutely could. But my heart of hearts is okay with going with the T-Wolves right there, because I really do think that it's kind of a coin toss. I think it's more of a 50-50-esque style, between these two rosters. And I just really hope that Edwards goes on a heater and absolutely tears Durant a new asshole. Thank you.
The next matchup is the 2-7 between the Lakers and Nuggets.
Give me the Nuggets. Come on, that roster's so complete. That roster's, their bench players give them good time. Yeah. They are so complete.
best starting 5 easy.
Yeah, and I mean probably best starting 7 to 8, unless Boston.
No, you could
they're
argue
deep
Boston,
too. Yeah, but I mean it's one of those two teams.
So let's jump into the conference semis on the West. You get the Thunder. I had Thunder Mavs. You have Thunder Mavs, Trev, and Charlie. You have Thunder and Clips, right, brother?
Correct.
I have the Thunder winning that.
Oh, we all do, I believe.
Oh wow!
Same
I know.
across.
I just
And
like,
then
I'm
it's, I have Suns Nuggets. Trev has Timberwolves Nuggets, and Charlie, you have Timberwolves Nuggets as well.
We all
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
Nugs.
And we all
all
have
got the
Nugs.
Nugs.
So
Yeah.
Thunder
Not a lot of
Nugs,
Thunder
disparity.
Nugs.
and then Nugs winning.
Nugs winning.
Okay, let's go to the East.
Wow, they.
Dude, it's just too hard. It's one of my. We're gonna get into later, but
It's because they're series. The series are so long, and you got to take the teams that you know that can win 4 games in a 7-game series.
I don't know what that team's built, dude. Celtics versus whoever, it doesn't matter.
Celts. It doesn't.
It doesn't. That
doesn't
team-
matter. It really.
Unless they get like the injury bug and they're like rolling.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing this is gonna. I would love to see Chicago go in there because I want Chicago to. I think they should beat the Heat tonight, and I would enjoy Chicago beating Boston and fucking my whole bracket up. But I don't think it's gonna happen at all.
I don't think so.
For some reason, I like that Chicago roster. I've said that several times on this pod.
No, well, they're finally starting to play better.
They did go on a little run. DeRozan had a nice game the other night.
Easy.
I really like him, man.
Exactly.
Oh, guess what? We could have
Caruso's
had
down
him.
there.
Oh,
Colby White balled out the other night. Had a 40 burger in the elimination in the 9-10 game.
Instead of keeping Caruso and DeRozan and having Buddy Hield, we decided to go with Russell Westbrook. Oh, Cavaliers at the 4 and Magic at the 5. I have the Cavs winning, obviously. That I've always talked that I really love D-Mitch, and I just want Mobley to just get God, give me a little more, Mobley.
No more. You've been saying that too.
Yeah,
I
want
think
more from him too.
I think it's clear that the Cavs have more to offer. It's not to say that the Magic haven't been fun to watch. They're
Big shot, though, for the Magic, though, man. Number 5 seed. Good
yeah,
job, dude.
it's 1,000%. They didn't have to do no play-in or nothing. Like this is the closest that they say a series should be. Although I do see this maybe being only like a 4-2 series. Like I feel like Cleveland's going to win this fairly easy.
To be fair, I did circle
To be
Cleveland first, but then I was like, I'm taking the Magic for my boy Pat.
Okay, all right. So that's the one he does because you ain't taking him in the next round, so it
I'm
doesn't
hoping he gets to
matter.
watch more playoff basketball.
Okay. Shout out to P. Rye. I got nothing but love.
Let's jump into the next one, which is hard, only because
Because
Giannis is out. You got the number 3
out. Not even
Number 3 Bucks versus 6 Pacers. They don't know if Giannis will be back until like game 3. The Bucks have stumbled into the playoffs.
Exactly.
They just don't look great. I took the Pacers.
We're all going with that upset.
We did good. I was going to say, give me Siakam and Hallie, dude. They're tearing it up right now.
It was super hard to do that because I am a Bucks. I like Giannis.
We all like Giannis. We're all a Bucks support. I think I chose the Bucks to win going into this season, but going into this playoffs, being that I can choose my things differently, I can't stick to that pick with Giannis down. There's no way. Like that changes the whole landscape of everything.
And then the last series in the East is the 2 Knicks versus the 7 76ers. I took the Knicks. Ooh. I am going the Knicks.
I mean, Brunson's been on fire.
Fire.
I really like the.
It's actually OG.
76ers is like the second best team in the East, though. So I took them.
If Embiid balls, it's Philly, and it's not even close. If Embiid is a top 5 player when he's healthy.
But he looks like he's laboring right now. Like he was like dragging that leg around. He's not 100%.
Looks like they just got to give him the good, dude. They'll dope him up. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but it's gonna wear on him. I think.
It will. You got to play upwards of. You got to play 28 games potentially if all series go to
and the Pacers are going to run
games. Yeah,
Pacers are going to run.
Yeah, the Pacers. Yeah,
so it's going to push him. It's going to be a rough
not the Pacers.
series.
You mean the Knicks?
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean the Knicks. The Knicks are going to run.
The Knicks are more of Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson. It's an up tempo team.
They're going to push him. Randall being out, I think's a miss, but I think that I think the Knicks are on fire. I think Brunson's the only person in the East that you could say was in the MVP talk, and he doesn't even top like 3 or 4.
All right. Well, there you go. So going into the semis,
Celtics, Cavs,
Celts.
You have Celtics match.
Beantown.
Sorry, Pat.
I have Pacers. I'm the only one with Pacers Knicks, and I went Knicks. You guys all went 76ers over Pacers.
I still took Philly into the next round. So
Oubre and Maxey,
outside of the Magic, we mirrored the East. You and I, sir.
Yeah, and I'm the one that went crazy.
You did.
I have the Celtics beating the Knicks.
That makes sense. And going to the finals.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you guys are all Celtics.
Boston,
Celtics
Philly
as well.
in the finals, and then
I'm
Boston
the only
going
one
to the
that
finals.
takes
The Nuggies.
The Nuggies.
Well, I mean, I picked the Celtics at the beginning of the year.
That's
I'm
true.
sticking with that pick. I knew the Nuggets were going to be here. I think they can finally get over the hump. That team looks as good as it did on paper when they made it happen at the beginning of the season.
We will update you point-wise or standing-wise throughout pods on because this is like a 2-month fucking thing. So
1,000%.
So we'll update you on.
We picked them in 30 seconds. It's going to take fucking 65 days to get us a champion.
So we'll update you standing-wise on that and how the bet's going. But also talking about betting, let's talk about Jonte Porter.
So this is basically like common sense without even having to call it. Like, this is the most. So we touched on what the allegations were, and in the most recent news, it's been proven he's been banned by the NBA.
Dude, he bet on his team to lose.
And he lost the parlay.
Dude, he bet on his team to lose.
Well, you know.
I mean, he obviously needs some help. He's got a problem because even though he won a lot of money, it's not as much as the NBA was going to pay him to stay in the league, and now he's out of the league.
He got Pete Rosed. Well, he Pete Rosed himself.
He Pete Rosed himself.
I'm saying he didn't get Pete. Yeah, no.
He's done. There's like no
the ban is a fit. No, the NBA will. They're not even. There will be no parole. There will be no consideration. This is a lifetime ban, and you gave up a $2.8 million salary for $22,000 in winnings.
Yeah.
Is what I saw the report at. And that's absolutely ridiculous, dude. Literally bet on anything else.
Way to hustle.
Anything else.
Dude, just come on, man. That's so fucking stupid.
I mean,
it's fucking stupid. Just put it that way.
I can't even defend that. I'm not even gonna try. I don't want to because we live in Nevada, for fuck's sakes. Now, granted, I'm not a professional athlete, but
we've professional bettors.
Yeah, we kind of suck.
I mean, we did not have the best streak in the NFL this season, but next season, you just wait. Yeah, no, season 2.
But you literally fucking gave up a professional game, a game that kids get to play.
You're getting paid to live the dream. You're getting paid to live the dream,
and you didn't bet on yourself to even win, dude. You bet on your fucking team to lose. You're a fucking chode.
I mean that is kind of beside the point if you really think about the overall scheme of things. I get the point that
at least bet to win. If you're gonna bet, bet on yourself to win. Maybe I'm gonna get 5 rebounds today. Not like I'm not gonna.
What triggered the investigation was that prop bet.
$20,000.
No, it was 80. The guy bet $80,000 to come up a clean mill. And then luckily DraftKings didn't pay it out because he went out in like 3 minutes. He played less than 3 minutes or some shit before he reported like, okay, I'm actually feeling ill. I can't play the rest of this game. Like, it was done in the dumbest of fashions. Like, I can't believe you thought you were going to get away with this, dude. Like, and then they found the other bets after that had happened. It had snuck down the rabbit hole. It was one thing that snowballed, and it was just like, dude, I don't know. We were dumb when we were young, but like, would you guys have ever bet on like the sport you play in if you were a professional athlete in any year?
No, because we're not betting now. And
right,
we live in the state.
That's what I'm saying. I guess I'm just I'm not drawn to it.
We're like the OGs of the betting states.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had betting our whole life.
Right.
My dad available, and we haven't really done much.
I remember my dad went hung out with his buddies every Thursday night at one place on Wells, and he used to play a card every Thursday night. Meet his buddies there. They play a card on Thursday night together. Have a couple beers, play a card.
Sure.
That was like what we do. We grew we grew up in betting. No, we're not betting now. I mean, we bet now, but it's here and there. We're not throwing down every week.
It's
Like football season, we throwing down, but not throwing down like thousands and
we
thousands
do one
of dollars.
$5 bet each. We do a $15 bet between the whole pod. Like that's the most basic of basic, right? That we do it just to see if we can win, and we get hype about it. I don't really give a shit about the winnings. I think this year was pretty much a wash. If anything, we probably lost a little bit of money.
We lost a little bit, but it adds the excitement to the games.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Like when I go hang out with my buddy Donnie in Vegas, we go spend like a college football day at the Mandalay. I have $100, and I'm like $100, and I'm spending this no matter what. I have $100 just to bet, right? So I'm picking all these games. If I come out on top, I have not come out on top once or twice, and I've come out on top a couple times. It's it's a give and flow. It's like you hit or you don't. I'm not doing it every day. It's like
but you also have to think that you're doing it for the entertainment of it.
Because you're watching a game. Like, if we all went and bet and we're hanging out, right? And drinking beers, and you're like, dude, I have Duke, right? Turn on the Duke game. Turn on the Duke game. And everybody's like, oh, fuck, come on, get that touchdown, because Zach needs like 7 points. It just adds intrigue to the day of betting. And it's like a $10 bet.
Why would you ever do it if you're playing that sport, though?
Why would you bet on yourself?
You're at the professional level. Like, the common sense is beyond me at this point, and I'm sure if you've listened to other sports media, you've heard this beaten into the ground at this point, and it's like it makes it, dude, what are we doing? Where's my car?
Let's get back into something more exciting.
Whoop whoop.
NHL playoffs, boys.
Okay.
Chucky, I'm sorry, pal, he didn't get in, huh?
Nope, didn't even.
Dude, my nights fucking started out so hot, then they got hurt hella bad, went on this dry spell, and just snuck in.
How do you feel against that first match?
Not great. Because if we were looking at picking it, which we're just going to run through it, Edmonton and Dallas are always good. It's just fuck. We got a tough first. So let's jump through it. Let's go first round.
We're not going to make a hat bet on this because, to be fair, we're not educated enough on the NHL to.
We pay attention to our teams. We don't necessarily pay attention to the league as hard.
I need to even get deeper into the Kraken. I won't lie to y'all.
So first round, you got Dallas as number 1 seed, getting Vegas as a wild card 2. Sorry, Vegas. Come on, guys. We have beat Dallas, I think, in the last 3 years to move on in the playoffs. I think whether it was in whatever round. And the last year we beat them in the conference finals to go to the Stanley Cup. So big time. I think that's going to be a good rival game. Winnipeg, Colorado is the next one. After that, you get Vancouver and Nashville, and then Edmonton and the Kings. Dude, what did you see? What's his name missed the 70 goals this year?
Bonk. Oh, McDavid.
Yeah,
Connor McDavid.
Just missed it, dude. He had 69, which is a great number to have.
Rob Gronkowski would be proud.
He would.
Let's go to the first round matchups in the East. The Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I love that.
Dude,
I love that in-state rivalry.
yeah.
I love that
crazy.
so much because the Lightning have been on a tear, and so have the Panthers. This is great.
How crazy is that the Tampa Bay Lightning are one of the best teams in the Eastern
Consistently,
Conference?
they have been over the last 15 years.
Dude,
like, they've got like
solid,
4
bro.
or 5 chips. Yeah, they've been. Maybe I'm overshooting that,
think
but
you're
I feel like they've been in 3 chips. Because didn't they do back-to-backs?
They might have. We got them last year, I think.
I want to say they did back-to-backs, and they did like 3 and 4. It was they were dynastic not that long ago.
But yeah, it's so crazy that
Don't
there's
shit on me, Trevor. That's a great word.
They're so crazy that team's so good.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the Panthers ran through the playoffs last year pretty well, so should be a good matchup.
Then you get the Boston Bruins and the Maple Leafs. Well, I don't really want to talk about them. The Maple Leafs.
Let's go Mapes. Come on, let's go. Yeah.
A Canadian team hasn't won in so many fucking years, dude.
93, I believe, is it? It's the 90s. I know it's the 90s. I want to say it's like 93, 94-ish. I want to say it was Calgary in 94 is like that. You'd have to fact check, but I'm 90% sure on that one.
And then you get the New York Rangers against the Capitals. Dude, I hope the Rangers win that.
All of New York.
I think it'd be cool if the Rangers could get.
Over here.
I really think it'd be cool if the Rangers could get there. It just seems like such a good hockey town. Give them something. Like the Knickerbockers kind of. What happens if the Knicks and the Rangers just fucking went through the playoffs? That'd be kind of crazy. That's like old school shit.
Yeah,
that's like back in the day, like Patrick Ewing and like those, right?
Sure, and then that was when I think they had Mark Messier, and they were competing for chips on the ice as well. So,
dude, that would be great. That'd be good for New York sports, man. That'd be cool.
All right.
And then you get Carolina and the Islanders.
The Hurricanes against the Islanders. Who moved off of the island? Boo, New York. You originally were out on Staten Island, and then you moved to the mainland. Like, boo. That was one of the best 30 for 30s, dude. Anyway.
Is there... Oh, there's 2 Canadian. No, there's 3. We get 3. Vancouver, Edmonton, and Toronto. So there's 3 Canadians.
And Winnipeg, bro.
Yeah,
you missed Winnipeg.
Oh, Winnipeg. So there's 4. Good job for the Canadians.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I think they're in trouble, though.
I mean, it's...
Dude, that fucking... God damn it.
That's fandom coming out in the middle
Fucking
of a segment.
Dallas.
Right
Why do we
here.
gotta get fucking Dallas first?
That's
Let's talk about some also kind of bummer news. I know we go good, bad, but this is kind of shitty for the Arizona Coyotes. At least their fans. They got bought and they're moving to Salt Lake. It was kind of this weird thing that went down. It seemed like it was kind of behind curtains, is what it seemed like. The players found out before a game. I don't know. It seems kind of weird, but it sucks because I really wanted to go to a Coyotes game against the Knights because the tickets were cheap.
Well, yeah, because now when they go to Utah, they'll have some juice behind them. Because in theory, the local market Utah should invite them with wide open arms. This is a huge win for Utah. Like, I completely understand. That's a winter state. There's a lot more snow than there is anything else in that state. So to bring hockey there does make sense to me. Like, it just sucks as a fan who's lost a team watching, because it's not an expansion team. Get an expansion, like the Kraken and the Knights, super dope, right? Like, that's an expansion. We didn't rob nobody.
I literally was going to get into hockey and was like, man, what team do I pick? And then the Knights came around. I was going to go with the Predators in Nashville because I was like, well, Nashville country music, I'll just pick that. Like, I was just trying to put a couple things together.
I like the Nashville country music.
And the Predators is cool. And the Predators are a cool name. But dude, it does suck for the fans of Arizona, man.
I never any fandom that has to move where you've put, sweat, blood, and tears into it. That is this ultimate sacrifice that billionaires do not understand. Is the struggle of a common man, and we as fans have, like, that's it, man. When you are in that fandom, and dude, it's like having your guts ripped out. Like, it's a really tough feeling. And for those true Coyote fans, all 3 of them, I'm sure that they're really
hey, whoa, don't do that to a fandom. They're getting hit in the nuts already.
No, I know.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, thank you for checking me. No, because it was very heartfelt until I felt the comedy coming on. But you're right. It's awful. It's like having your heart ripped out from your chest. And I'm sorry to the Arizona, but Utah, start celebrating. So you'd show them some love, give them that local market love. You got to turn on that love juice.
Love juice. All right, we are going to. Chuck, you want to touch on one thing before we go to break?
Well, yeah, I want to touch on the
not WNBA one thing. It's a big
draft.
Thing.
I mean, I feel like there were some eyeballs, to be had for
this was the year.
Yeah, for Caitlin Clark and Paige. What's her last name? I'm blanking here. Who went number 2 overall?
Cameron Brink.
Cameron Brink. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Stanford.
Yep.
Apparently, her and Curry have a history.
They're god brother and sister. Yeah. No, like from the youngs. I didn't know that until this week either. But like, that was cool. Like, it was cool, man. It was cool to see the coverage of it to finish. Like, I'm very curious to see how the coverage carries on next year.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Well, because they're gonna they go up against NFL. They go up against NBA playoffs.
Is that when their regular season is?
Yeah.
Is now? So do they go quick?
Like 2 months.
Like towards the end?
They're already
pretty
going
quick,
to camp.
huh?
They're already going to camp.
Right. Okay.
They got
maybe a slow start.
And they also only play like 31 or 41 games. They don't play many games.
Yeah.
But also, just to touch, I believe the Sky had the 3rd pick, and they drafted the Camila Cardoso, that 6'7" girl from.
And then they swept back and got. Yep.
And they came back and got Angel Reese.
Dude, that means that front side is huge because Angel's what 6'3", and so they're gonna.
She's long. She's long for a lady.
She's long
because she was
Cardoza is insanely long.
Dude, she dominated Iowa.
Well,
absolutely dominated Iowa.
That size,
dude.
Yeah, like that is. Man, yeah,
she
looked different than every other woman on the court.
That was one of the downfalls of Iowa. Was she got like 10 offensive rebounds all for points or something, or 7 offensive rebounds all for points? That's ridiculous. That's 14 points right there.
No, yeah, they did not have an answer for her in that title game by any means. But shout out to the ladies for getting some love. And we'll see how the coverage carries on with the rookie seasons. And I'm honestly more curious to see what happens in the NCAA with, I don't know if I think that's going to kind of fizzle out.
Paige Betancourt came back to UConn.
Yeah,
Paige did come back.
Juju's at USC.
She'll be there for a year or two.
And the number 3 scorer in the nation went to Iowa from somewhere.
Okay.
I think they're obviously going to take a dip with sorry, excuse me.
You're all right.
Yeah, no, bad. They're obviously going to take a bit of a dip, but I think it's still going to be strong since their college game returns all those players. They still have, again, it's a game that we're going to know better than the men's game every year because of the returning players.
They have to stay 3 years in college.
We know the players better, and that's the thing, dude. It's so hard to watch. Like UConn. What did UConn do all year? Just dominated fucking men's basketball.
They lost 4 games all year, yeah.
Because they had a bunch of fucking seniors, juniors, and they had the right mix of the fucking true freshmen.
Yep.
Dude, it's a way to build it.
Even their transfer guys were juniors.
That's what exactly.
They didn't grab 2-year guys.
No, they built a
sophomore.
They built a great team the way they did it.
And Hurley's a hell of a coach, dude. You won't see another back-to-back in any time soon. I mean.
They might have a chance to go triple P.
Why not? It's a daunting task to say the least, but I don't know, man. I think
if he keeps building the team
if you don't see the armor break, when is it going to?
They've dominated the last 2 March Madness this year.
12-0 again. They've beaten teams by 13 points every game plus every game in the last 2 years.
That's a point differential.
13 plus.
But then if you take this year away, it was 17 this year. It was 11 last year, so it came to that.
Bonkers.
Dude, it's crazy.
It's absolutely bonkers, dude.
He's building he's building that program. Why would he they're like, oh, Kentucky offered. I'm like, dude, I got something hella good going here. I'm at UConn, bro. Come on.
I mean, okay, so to be fair, both are blue bloods. I prefer UConn over Kentucky for sure. I just think that, and then the way he's just, I think he's doing it the honest way.
Why leave? Just
exactly.
Rolling.
Yeah, you're going to have the players and the money's just fine, bro. He's sweeping up millies, keeping his kids where they want to be. Who wants to go live in fucking Kentucky?
We're going to take a break, come back
with some freshies.
With some new beers.
What are we going to hit in that second segment? No, I'm pretty much there. I'm about a goal boy.
We're going to start with a hazy and finish with a side.
Oh, okay. Alcohol-wise, I was thinking, what are we going to do segment-wise?
Segment-wise.
Yeah.
Segment-wise, we are going to go through player rankings in the draft. We're going to hit 1 through 5, hopefully, probably 6. It might get a little crazy.
I'm going to let you cats carry me on the names, and I will give you the commentary.
Sense,
yeah, there it is.
Welcome back to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Sláinte.
Cheers.
Dude, this
Cheers
next segment's going to be hot.
This looks like straight juice.
That's delicious.
Oh my God, I love you,
damn,
Mother
that's
Earth.
delicious.
I love you, Mother Earth.
Another really cool can. Check out the X and Instagram on the can pics, man.
Absolutely.
They are fucking really cool cans today, man.
Yeah, the two 16ers were awesome. We're just gonna have a cider to end here in a little bit, but Urban Solace by our boys at Mother Earth out of Nampa, Idaho. Drinks at 7.2, and that juice that I know you love is on the back of this all over the place. It's got this really juicy back end.
We might have to take a trip to this brewery.
I mean, they've
really cool
lights, darks, IPAs. They've been sours. I've had everything that I've had from this brewery has been within probably an 8 and above. They're there, and Urban Roots, we were on their kick. We haven't drank them in a little bit. I've kind of been pulling away from, not pulling away, but buying other breweries.
I see them, but I can't. I gotta go through all the pictures to fucking figure out which one. I need a list. We gotta break it down in a spreadsheet so I can just see names. Because going through all the pictures is fucking. No. Sorry, you're fuck. I can't go through.
I get it. I understand.
I tried.
I know. I called Trevor today. I said, "Hey man, have we tried this, and this?"
We did.
Because there's some classics that we still haven't put down.
Yeah.
Like we haven't done fresh squeeze on the pod. We did Guinness last week. There's like
I haven't
some
done fresh squeeze.
there's some classics that we have not done.
Do you guys remember Pine Drops by Deschutes?
Yes.
Oh my god,
I
I
don't.
missed that IPA. It was
I like what's
I
it called
had that
by
at the
Deschutes.
brewery. In fact,
that's right. I remember
What was
being
the
jealous of
What
that.
was the white
Chainbreaker?
Chainbreaker?
another good one we should have
Deschutes,
on the pod at some
man.
I don't know if they make it anymore.
I was gonna say that was a seasonal that
I think it's done,
They
bud.
kept it around for a while. They
Gotta
did
bring
keep
that
it
back.
around for a while, but
it's gone. I
I
haven't seen it
think
in years,
I think that was a winter, and I don't think I've seen it in probably 4 or 5 years.
if not longer.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude, it's been a long time.
No, because it did a 2.0. It did do a 2.0. I do remember. I was like Chainbreaker. I remember it coming, but I think that was still even 4 or 5 years ago. Because OG was like what 8, 9, 10 years ago, kind of thing. I don't know, man. I've been drinking beer for a while, and Deschutes has been pouring a good brew for a long, long time.
Dude, I love it. You know, we haven't done a lot of, and I was thinking about this today. We have not done a lot of Hop Valley.
Yep. Well, I mean, because it's in the
They,
name.
but they do have a lot of hazies I like. I've had a lot of hazies there.
Sure.
We have not done a lot of Hop Valley.
Bring them. Bring them on.
So this
Bring 'em
next
out,
segment's
bring
going to
'em
get
out.
hot. Let's start with the most important position on the field. The quarterbacks, I think we have them rated basically the same. I think I have maybe one different than Trev. But we're going to go 6 on these. Basically, Caleb, Jaden, Drake, JJ. I have Penix over Bo, and then I got Bo at 6.
So for me, I left the big controversy for me is I left Drake May off my list. And I did this because I believe even though he has sky high potential, it's boom or bust with him. I see a lot of like Zach Wilson, Trey Lance with this guy.
Ooh, I don't think. Ooh, dude, no way.
His
No
footwork
fucking way.
is horrible.
Right,
It's horrible. He has so much to work on. He is such a project. You take him early and you play him.
I don't
This
think
year
he-
is going to be rough.
No, you can't play him. That's why I think that the Patriots with Jacoby Brissett
You're going to play Jacoby Brissett for more than half the season?
for all the whole year.
The whole year. Oh,
You already suck
How could you do that to your fan base?
because you have to let the kid become a good quarterback. I actually hope he goes to the Vikings. I hope that he goes to the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell because then Sam can start for a year. And then Drake will come through.
That makes more sense
And
to
you'll
me.
get his feet right, and he'll be good. He makes plays that are outstanding. He is Anthony Richardson more than a Zach Wilson. He has the potential to be super hot. He doesn't run like Anthony, but or Josh Allen. Like Josh came in the league, and people are like, "Man, he can't hit a fucking barn house." All of a sudden, Josh is a top fucking 2 quarterback.
I just can't get on that train that you're going to take him with a number 3 overall pick when this is a project quarterback. I understand that potential is high.
You did exactly that, and look at what you got
Yeah,
out of
and
the
look
value
what
of him
happened.
2
But
years afterwards.
but Drake's played way more football than Trey
Sure.
Lance. Trey Lance hasn't played shit.
at the ACC level, a
Sure,
lot of
and
good
you look
competition.
at Drake May's highlight tape and you go, damn.
I think
that's
Drake
good.
May is actually
But the
more
bad is
Will
real
Levis.
bad.
More Will Levis.
I mean,
You lost all your weapons the second year because you played it at half hard whatever.
well, they were
school.
missing their receiver.
Yep, and he was because he couldn't transfer. He had to sit
Their
for
best
whatever.
receiver.
Yep.
All right, so we're going names.
Oh, okay. Well, just to finish off
What
my
I'm
list
saying-
real quick, though, like I like Penix Jr. I like him more than Bo Nix, but I put him below Bo Nix on my list just because
Of
I
draft.
think the injury history, being a left-handed quarterback, and his release is a little slow. So I think those all work against him.
Oh, for sure.
And I think he's still a first-round guy.
He's-
I think he's the guy that ends up falling.
You have to protect him.
You fucking blow me away with that, Trev. Holy shit! I didn't realize that when I was looking at it.
You have-
Okay, let's jump into the running backs.
Hold on,
Okay,
real,
go ahead,
no,
Trev.
don't cut me off, sir.
Yeah, let him have.
You have
anything to add to that?
you have to protect Penix for him to be a valuable
Well,
asset.
maybe he ran a 4.640.
No, but that's not the point. It's his pocket presence
It's
is not.
the
His
speed,
pocket-
it's the moving around.
I think his pocket presence is actually pretty good.
But his quick reaction isn't. It's not to say that he's not sneaking out the back door. That's not Penix's game. It isn't.
But Penix could be more of a right hand. But Penix could be. Look what Joe Burrow does when he runs. He's not necessarily quick, but Joe's pretty fast. Penix could be Joe Burrow.
I think is different. I don't agree with that.
I would disagree with that as well.
I'm not saying he could be Joe. I'm saying that
Yeah, I understand. And then Bo Nix also has stayed healthy and played 65 games, 61 games in college, wasn't it? 61, 62.
Yeah.
So,
I like Bo
the
Nix.
kid is battle tested, and you've been high on him being
and it's only
Peyton's guy,
and it's literally
Denver's guy.
And my reasoning for Penix over Bo is it's just because Penix throws the deep ball a little better. And his ball is just
I don't want to.
I love Bo.
I don't ever want to argue a duck over a husky. But unfortunately, in this draft, I have to tell you that I think the NFL weighs more into the potential athleticism and the brain of Bo Nix on the football field. Penix he's got a gorgeous release, but it's slow. Somebody said
I mentioned that.
Yeah,
and he's
left-handed. There are things in his game that when you saw him play Michigan, I'm sorry, that tape against Michigan,
it's bad.
It had to have killed his stock, because going into that game, I was like, Homeboy is gonna dot Odunze. This is gonna be his real finite moment to say I'm a top 10.
Odunze, but Odunze fucked that up. Odunze didn't stop running the route.
He fucking did. No, he dropped that. Oh my God, that's so right. He lost that route in the very beginning. Full time, go for it.
To finish out the quarterback.
Let's get it.
I have JJ at 4. Trev has JJ at 3. Do you have JJ in your top 5? Because you are not a JJ
No, because
person.
you're right. Because looking at Trev's layout, all of the buzz.
Trev's layout is the way the draft.
I would be foolish if I were to say that JJ McCarthy is not a top 5 quarterback on those boards. At number 5. That's what I'm saying. So I would be foolish if I were to put him out of the top 5 right now. Remember how we were talking off pod about how these idiots are out there making mocks that you read these things and you're like, there's not a shot that this is going down that way. You can't keep McCarthy out of the top 5 with everything that's been reported.
He's going in the top 5.
I was not a McCarthy guy after coming to the beginning of the draft.
Sure,
but the more I dove into it, I'm like,
personally,
he looks like a pro.
Personally, I'd rather have Bo or Penix.
I don't think you can. The hate on JJ is just because he wasn't in a pass-heavy offense.
I don't
get to see it as much.
I don't have hate on JJ. I just would rather have Bo or Penix. Mm-hmm. I just put JJ at 4 because that's where, he's going. I had him. I think he's a 4th.
But is that why you have Drake May at 3?
I think he's a 3rd quarterback coming off the board, Trev.
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't.
Let's jump into the running back position.
Get it.
I love where Trev has his. I did mine more of what I think they're getting drafted by. Jordan Brooks, 1 from
He's
Texas.
He's the favorite to get drafted first.
Trey Benson from Florida State.
Yeah.
Jalen Wright, which I think I'm way higher on him than Trevor. And then I have Marshawn Lloyd. I'm way higher on 3 and 4 than I am on 1 and 2. And then I have Blake Corum at 5. I would rather have the Raiders personally draft Jalen Wright. Speed Demon, give me that extra push. Or Marshawn Lloyd, who I actually think Trev's right.
Where's Marshawn Lloyd coming out of?
USC.
Yeah.
I think he might be the best back, more all-around back. I love how Trev has him at 1. So Trev, go through
1 then, because I
think Jonathan Brooks is going the first back.
I don't doubt he's being the first back, but this is your top 5.
I know. I should have had him at 1. Thanks,
Trev.
Trev.
This is my top 5. I don't care if you want to say it's the USC love.
Unker.
I think he doesn't get valued as high because of that offensive line was shit. And we were pass-heavy offense because we're playing from behind. But the skills that he showed, if you watch some of those games, he gets the most out of what
the
there
least.
is.
That's what the NFL is built on.
That's why
if you can turn a negative 1 yard play into a positive 2 yard, even if it's just 2 yards. If you fall forward after making a guy miss, that is a valuable fucking play in the NFL.
My one argument to Jonathan Brooks is that there's no miles on the tread, and you know what I love about a running backs coming out of college. No miles on the tread.
Turn him and burn him,
I
baby.
want to use him.
Get him on the
NFL.
field, turn him and burn him.
And
300 touches for 4 years, and then who the fuck cares?
And Marshawn Lloyd's had a lot of touches through college. That'd be my one. And then Trey Benson's one of the most explosive, but he needs the right. I think he needs the right offensive coordinator.
That's what I feel like with Jalen Wright too. I feel like both of those backs. I don't know if their vision is that great. That's why I don't.
Trey,
have
I agree
Wright
with that
on
with
my-
Trey. I think Jalen might be, but I
Well,
agree
the
with Trey.
fact of the matter is, in this draft, there's no
I know,
Bijan.
but guess
there's
what?
no Reggie Bush. There's no.
None in the first, maybe one in the second,
I
and then
don't
there's going to
agree
be a
with
run
so.
on the third.
I think the third is where it starts actually.
That's insane.
And yeah, it's
And
because
in
there
the
isn't
second,
that
it would
guy
only
this
be
year.
That's
my
insane.
only second round team that takes one. Dallas Cowboys taking Jonathan Brooks.
They got to take a quarterback or a running back. If you look at the running back depth chart,
Jonathan
it's
Brooks
so bad.
is their second round
It
pick. I am almost writing that
It's-
in like stone.
It's the worst running back group in the NFL
Yeah,
right
I
now.
would say
There's no
yes
doubt
to
about
that.
it. Name me a person in their running back room.
You don't want to know.
It's
Can
like Dinwiddle is or something.
Can we talk about the number one?
Oh, wait. Before
go
we go
for
to
it, go for
receiver, just I want to touch on my running backs that were different from
Oh yeah,
yours.
go for it. T.
So on my list, I have Blake Corum.
I had him
I
at
He
five.
think-
did, yeah.
Oh, you do have
Yeah.
him on 5.
Yeah, I didn't have Eston.
So Corum, I just want to say, he needs to lose.
He's going to the Chargers.
I don't know.
It's going to be Austin Eckler.
Fourth round.
I mean, Harbaugh has that
Seriously.
connection with him, but he needs to lose some weight. He's not a power back in the NFL. He needs to be a little quicker.
And
if
that-
he's going to be a good.
And that's
running
why I
back.
almost didn't put him in my
What
five.
did he measure at? What was his?
He wasn't that fast, and
He's not a big dude either.
he's not a big.
Well,
dude
no, I
either.
know. He looks like a baby out there, but it's not to say that he can't. Darren Sproles had a role in
Darren
the
Sproles
NFL
is
for
explosive.
11 years. Okay, so but I understand. But you also got it's a balance. You got to be thick. You got to be able to take a licking or two.
And
Blake
then-
Corum
But you
was-
have to be explosive.
Blake Corum's only 5'8", 213.
Yeah, he's not that big.
Okay, so what do you want him to run at? 5'8", 185, 5'8", and 190? You want him to lose like 20 pounds or some shit?
No, he needs to be more explosive. I don't know if he needs to lose weight.
Well, how
he
do you
needs to be more-
teach that then if it's
I
not
just-
about weight?
Well, that's why I didn't put him in my. I almost didn't put him in my top five.
You don't, at this level, if he's not explosive, he won't be explosive. I'm sorry.
I mean, if he could drop a little weight and just get a little quicker, though, that might be enough. If he's not that, if he learns that he's not the guy that's gonna.
He's
mow
like 4 or
people
5.
over.
If he could get under 4 or 5 and be more of like that quick explosion, he's not a power back in between the line.
He's going to get fucking mauled.
And then my last running back that I have at
Notre
5 is
Dame.
Audric Estime.
Yep.
From Notre Dame. I think he's the best power back in the draft. This
He might
guy
be.
runs through guys, and for a short yardage back, someone's going to value that.
Yeah, he's 5'11", 227, dude. He's a fucking bowling ball, brother.
Well, I mean, the guy from Wisconsin
Holy
is
shit.
bigger, but I think this
I
guy
did-
actually drops more people.
I almost put the Wisconsin back in my 5, the Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen, thank you.
227.
Because listen to this, 6'2", 245. Give me some
245,
fucking
yeah.
Brandon Jacobs, dude. Jesus
Or-
Christ.
or
Chris
Travis-
Carson.
or
That's
Derrick
Chris
Henry?
Carson.
Derrick
Yeah.
Henry. Dude,
He's not Derrick Henry.
Rest
no,
in peace,
I'm just
Chris
saying.
Carson.
I'm just saying, like size
He
wise,
got
dude.
screwed.
Yeah, no, he's
Poor
a
guy
big
broke his knee.
back.
6'2", 245.
That's Brandon Jacobs, dude. That's like it's. But you got to be able to be athletic with it still, even at that size. But you're gonna pretty much, in theory, mow over cornerbacks.
I was looking at your dude Dylan Johnson for a little bit, and he wasn't as explosive as I thought.
He'll go well, but see, here's the thing. You know, he okay. We just talked about this. The metric that he measured best at through PFF coming into this draft is turning a negative into a positive.
Yes,
It
he
was
doesn't go backwards, he
net
goes
positive out of a lost play, and he had like He had more plays of positive yardage after being contacted behind the line of scrimmage than any other player in the in this upcoming draft. That's pretty fucking impressive.
The thing that works
That
against
alone.
him, though, as well as probably Blake Corum, is the lines that they're running behind. Some of the best in college football.
Oh yeah, no, they were
The two best lines.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, no, dude, Washington got voted one. Yeah.
Trev, is this
and then
next?
faltered against Michigan's D line in the goddamn.
Is this
college
next?
football playoff?
Is this next position the
Final.
best position in the draft, or is it the tackles that we're going to touch, or is it the corners? What do you think? Receivers, tackles, or corners? What do you think is the best position?
Man, it's close with tackles. I think I might lean slightly with the wide receivers.
Okay, let's run through it.
I think.
I'm going to run through it 10.
All right.
Sorry, I got 10, and I'm going to go quick. Sorry, Chuck. I got Marvin Harrison Jr. 1, Malik Neighbors 2, Roma Dunze 3. Trev, any beef?
I like Neighbors a little bit more just because I think he fits today's NFL a little bit better with the play calling.
The reason I have a Harrison at Jr. at 1 is you could almost pencil him into the Pro Bowl next year.
Yeah. No, I don't say no to that.
Prototypical size, speed, length, hands.
He's not as fast as Neighbors are explosive, but he's going to catch everything
I just
to him.
feel like
Yeah.
with
He's a
Neighbors,
vacuum.
you're running those
I-
screens, you're running more plays with him
I
than
know.
you are
He's-
with Harrison.
Neighbors more Jamar Chase, where Harrison's more Larry Fitzgerald.
And then, we're
That's a
right
hell
there
of a
saying with the
comparison.
Dunze at
Fitzy?
3.
God damn, dude.
And we all love Rome. Rome's me and Chuck's like one of our favorite players.
He's the best route runner in this
That's why I
draft
like him.
for sure.
And I like my number 7 a lot too, but I got Brian Thomas Jr. at 4. I got
Same.
Adian Mitchell at 5, and I got Xavier Worthy at 6.
So I thought about Adion Mitchell at 5. I thought also about I like Roman Wilson from
I got him at
Michigan
8.
too, because to get 12 touchdowns in that offense and being the size that he is,
That means
guy
you're
is
the dude.
explosive.
You know what I
That
love?
guy
Means you're the
is
dude. No,
good.
in that offense, yeah.
I didn't like we don't watch tape. Listen to Chris
Sounds, man.
breakdown of how he catches the ball.
We will watch tape if we
catching-
can make money off this podcast.
catching the
Promise
ball.
you that.
We'll take any sponsorship.
He
Just
catches
throw it out
everything with his hands. Rome Wilson catches everything with his hands. The only reason I don't have him higher, I think Xavier Worthy's going in the first round. He's super explosive.
That speed.
And the dude I have at 7 is maybe my first favorite, but he's definitely my second favorite. It's Keenan Coleman out of fucking Fresno State. His 40s is slow. Dude, he's still a big receiver. He makes all the catches. He looks way more... When we watched a lot of Florida State games, Keenan Coleman was a dude stand out other than the guy that I got in one of my look-ats. But then I have Rome at 8, Lad McConkey at 9, and I have Xavier Leggett at 10. Xavier Leggett at 10 could be a first-rounder, Trev. 4'3", 6'3", 210,
Massive for a wide receiver.
and quick as fuck.
Yes, he's got that speed to go with it.
Kick
now.
returner.
I like that aspect as well, which is crazy for me that big to be doing kick
That
returns.
is nuts.
My difference from your list is Troy Franklin. I put him at my number 5, and I did that just because his size, his speed, and I think like the way that he positions
Troy would be
himself.
11 for me.
I feel like he positions himself so well to get a ball in like a contested catch. Like I think he's really
Franklin's
good
got
at
a
it.
lot of hype, and I think even when the smoke be coming so far out that the public hears his name this many times as potentially the 5th, 6th, 7th overall wide receiver, there has to be some truth behind that to that narrative. So I think that Franklin has to be somewhere in the top 10, sir. I love all your reasonings to and then. I'm sorry. I just want to see how many do you think are going to go? 5, 6 in the first round?
I wrote
More.
6.
Yeah,
I wrote
I think at least 6.
On the top of everything, I wrote what I thought. I think there could be 6 quarterbacks. There could be 6 wide receivers. It depends, like how the quarterbacks and receivers are going to kick all the other, and the tackles are going to depend on what every other position goes. They could go really hot in those, and you could almost have half the draft be quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tackles.
Oh, that's absolutely what the first round's going to be.
I think with the wide
Or you're
receivers,
talking half the draft, like almost. I mean,
The first round could be
Okay.
fucking
crazy. Like you're gonna have your guy.
I wrote
the three
I
guys
tune
go
in
high.
Thursday.
I wrote there could be 8 offensive tackles that go in the first round, but that's counting guys like Trev, Are we going into it? Okay,
Let's do it. No, let's do it. Let's get it.
Okay.
Tight ends first, or you want to
No, let's go to tackles.
That's premium. Premium.
There's only one tight end that's going in the first round. It's Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
The consensus on all the others, depending on what your halfbacks or if they're tight ends, is all over the place. There's a Sanders kid out of Texas, Cade Stover out of Ohio State, Ben Snick kid out of Kent State, Westover, Ben Westover.
Westover.
Out of Washington is in that mix too. But
none
of them are going.
The second best tight end that you listed is he doesn't block.
Nope.
He's a wide receiver. He's either going to lose weight and play wide receiver, or he's got to put on weight and start blocking. But he wasn't that guy in college.
No, and I'd rather have Stover, Snicket, or the Westover kid out of Washington over Sanders. It's just that he's such a huge dude. He's like 6'7" or something. He's a big guy. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of his game.
You said he had to put on weight, so if he doesn't block,
if you want to talk about big dudes, Jared Wiley's at least 6'7" too. Yeah. He's another big target.
TCU, he's a big guy. Let's jump into the tackles though. That's more interesting.
There is a premium on offensive line from even interior is at least being touted in this draft. It's kind of nice. Yeah.
There's going to be. So I wrote down 8. So I'll go through them, Trev.
Consensus, Joel is the best tackle that's ready to play immediately.
As a left
tackle.
Let's go. I want you guys' opinions. Sidebar. Do you like when you take a kid like Alt, has played left tackle his whole career, and then try to move to right?
Nope.
Don't you want to keep that shit the same?
Yes.
It's not the same. Listen to what people say. When you listen, Taylor Wan had a great interview one time. He goes, no, fuck no. They told me to play right tackle. I couldn't play right tackle. Your foot movement's different. I played my whole career at left tackle. It's not the same.
They're not all ambi-turners. This is Zoolander reference.
I can't turn left.
So, Joe Alt, number 1.
I watched that movie not like a couple of weeks ago.
I got J.C. Latham, right tackle at 2.
He's the best right tackle.
And he could go as high as 5 to the Chargers. I have Chargers and J.C. Latham basically written down.
I've seen him mocked much lower.
I know.
Much lower. Like in the teens, if not lower than that.
As far as potential goes, he's right there.
Okay.
That's what that.
That's what I've been hearing and seeing, and I don't know that. I mean,
I'm calling it, Chuck. I'm making some calls.
I've seen Fashanu drafted in front of him.
Well, my next tackle, Mims, is also like Latham. There's a high upside. Now, Mims
Georgia
hasn't played very many games.
I don't have Mims until 7, but I have a different
I understand that. He's only played 8 games. It's all about potential with that guy. That guy, you look at him in a crowd, he stands out. That body type, he is huge. Huge.
So I have the next tackle is another right tackle, Talise Fayuga. Trev, I know you have him as a guard, but I have him as a tackle. I think that's who the Raiders are actually taking first round. Pencil that in.
That's the Oregon State boy, right?
Yes, yep. I have my 4th tackle as Olu Fashanu. And the reason I have that is because Olu Fashanu. Because
that's my next tackle after Mims.
Because he's got potential and he's played more than Mims. That's the only reason. He still isn't a polished tackle.
His floor is a lot higher. With Fuuga, though, he's definitely somebody you can move at different positions.
And that is so beneficial in the NFL. Yes. The swing tackle is so beneficial.
The next person on my list, I would not be surprised if this person went in the top 10. Troy Fatuanu from guard / tackle from Washington. I actually penciled him in at Seattle, and I think he's going there.
I would love if he fell to 16. Oh my good lord, you better sweep him.
I would not be surprised if the Jets took him. If the Jets took
with
him
all
at
the
10,
talent you guys said, okay, so we're not drafting I hope we don't draft a quarterback at 16. I think that'd be stupid as shit. Or a wide receiver. I think so. Then the leftover is the offensive line. So there's so much talent. We're speaking on both groups. We haven't even touched on really dedicated center guards. We're just talking tackles. And if we can't get one of those guys,
I have Tyler Guyton at 6. So from OU, who could go in the first round, who's going to probably go in the first round.
He's my 5th.
I just don't want to. The thing is, I don't want to draft a dedicated tackle because that's where we have put our most. I want to go more interior leaning lineman. Yes.
Well, that's why I think this other guy, Jordan Morgan, tackle / guard, is a perfect pick for the Niners over Guyton because of the fact that he goes tackle and
And
guard.
that's a stick it and pick it right there. You say he falls to 31?
Oh, I definitely think he's
He
a
should
31.
be around there. He might be the most athletic tackle, but he's got that short arm, so that's why there's projections
T-Rex
that him
arms.
And it's
going to guard.
There's some stuff that is actually proven. The arm length stuff is actually proven.
Sure.
Like things
You
when they talk.
keep somebody a distance from your body.
When a tackle can, and if you're short edge and you can't explode into the tackle, and that tackle hits you first. Let's finish out my 10. I have
touch on those real quick before you finish out your 10. I just want to say
Let's go.
Fuanga and Fitanu. I have both of those guys projected as guards for me because that's what I've seen as far as
and Morgan.
NFL, and that's mostly in regards to arm length. That's why those guys are projected to move to that position.
Okay.
I have you. It's your fifth. Do you have him? No, you don't have him on your board. I thought you had him on your. Kingsley Sumata out of BYU and Roger Rosengard out of Washington.
Those would be my my sixth and seventh probably tackles that I have Guyton above them.
Yeah, I have Guyton at 6. I think this is easily even like Trev said, even the Fuagas and the Morgans. Dude, there is such an athletic class of just what's coming right now into the league.
Best offensive line class that the league has seen in years.
Yes. Then
it's a really good time for my team to need offensive line and the rest of the fucking league to need quarterbacks and wide receivers.
Yes. And for the NFL, you should be drafting an offensive lineman and a wide receiver in this
Every draft.
This draft, especially because they've excelled so much this year.
Sure. If you can get a top 3 round wide receiver, instant starter because of how much depth. After that, it gets a little bit more mushy. 3 rounds of wide receivers is definitely easy starters, dude. Because we didn't even name Ricky Pearsall from Florida, dude. There's other dudes that we didn't even like.
There's plenty of guys that won't go in the top 5 to 10.
Jalen Polk
and the other dude,
Jalen Polk's amazing. McMillan, yeah.
Both of them could actually go before the 3rd round. That's what I'm saying. The first 3
why
rounds of wide
Penix
receivers.
look like a fucking boss, dude. He delivers a great ball to 3 dudes. That's 3 dudes.
3 rounds of wide
receivers. And then we spoke as Westover as the gadget guy. He's the use check. We had a 49ers-esque thing going on up there, dude. And we lost just the same way you did.
Team money on this next position.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I was at the bar. I watched it out and I lost it all.
T-Money on this next, I wrote it just inside lineman. So, and we're basically the same center-wise, and I think they're the 3 best inside linemen. Graham Barton, the center, Zach Frazier, a center, and then Jackson Powers Johnson, center.
Yes, we're the same on those. Everybody has Powers higher, but Frazier is
dude, he's
better.
a fucking wrestler, man. He's
Graham
going to come in
Barton
a mall, dude.
He's going to play center, and he is amazing. These guys are all going.
What are you gonna do,
Zach
brother?
Frazier's gonna fucking light it up, brother.
Can he give a promo? Can he cut a promo?
He's
that
from
matters,
dude. He's gonna kill it.
Okay.
I love those wrestler linemen. I just.
Yeah, they're ballers, brother. And Graham Barton.
Come on, brother. You better tell.
Graham Barton is if he doesn't go to the Steelers, I'd be very surprised if he didn't go to the Steelers.
It's okay.
He's not falling that far, dude. He's not falling that far.
Either way, man, we're talking mad talent at the offensive line.
Let's jump into the defensive tackles, right?
Whoa. Slow down a little bit. So I just wanted
Christian Hayes guard and Cooper Beebe guard. So.
Yes, I have those as my top 5 along with those tackles that I already mentioned. And then for centers, I also wanted to throw out
where's that from?
Cedric Van Grunger. He's the Georgia center. He's not a zone center. He's he fits a specific offensive line.
Can I get an opener, please?
Pass that along.
I got it.
So I think
you're gonna feel a slight pinch, audience.
He's that next guy. After that
actually
it gets a little issue between Lemire from Arkansas, which I have, and then the
Zach's been really
Penn State guy and the Wisconsin guy. They're all right there as far as next centers that could come off.
If you need a center and you can get Frazier, Powers, Johnson, or Barton, those are your starters. Everybody else, I think you got to just kind of.
They're more developmental. They could play half the season, but they're not. They're probably not starting the season.
Trev, do you know why the Eagles don't have center as like one of their biggest needs. Did they draft somebody as of recently that I don't know about?
No, I think that's just like the mock draft site's not updating their shit.
Because I even saw that on ESPN today. I was like, man.
Today? No, then if it's not on ESPN today,
So
they're not
I'm going to have to look at the Eagles roster.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm pretty sure they could use a center after Kelsey retiring.
All right, Z. All right, so we're ready to move on. Let's get on to the defense.
Yeah.
This offensive line is deep. All of it's deep. On offense is deep. This whole draft is deep on offense, right? Like, that was crazy. You guys could have gone for a good while.
Yeah, so let's jump in defense tackles first. I think there's maybe two that go, and it depends on who your two are. I have Byron Murphy at 1.
Same.
I have, if you wanted, you could put Darius Robinson at maybe 2 or 3 on your defensive line.
That's different than you, though.
Or he's your 4 or 5 defensive end.
Did you put him at end?
I have my fourth end, but I wrote earlier that he's my second. I have him up to my second or third defense tackle. You can play both. He's a very versatile player.
Yes.
And then you have Johnny Newton at either 2 or 3, and then I have Rook Arororo.
Yes, Arororo. The H's are silent.
Arororo?
That's correct. That is how you pronounce that name.
Yeah, I got it right, Chuck.
Oh,
From
say it
Clemson.
again.
And then I have Brandon Fisk at 4 and
Arororo.
Chris Jenkins at 5.
Did you say Dwayne Carter?
I did not say Carter.
Oh, man. I like that guy
Out
from
of-
Duke. When they played Florida State, he wrecked that game. That guy destroys in the middle.
I almost had him in there. I think I put Chris Jenkins over him because of what Chris Jenkins did to Washington.
Jenkins is the best defensive tackle against the run. He has no pass rush skill.
Damn it, dude. Give me the mic.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. You got to be rounded to be, because
I mean, he fits. He can be a guy on a lot. of
GM
teams,
Downey, are you drafting more specialists or more football players?
It
More
depends on where
movers and shakers or more specialists?
Well, it depends on what you need at that time. Like, if I need what I feel, yeah.
Might be.
Do you like more of a run stuffing D tackle or a movable D tackle?
Well, it depends. I want one of each. I think you have to have a very like different defensive line. If you're running a 4-3, I think you have to have one dude that is just gonna like stuff it and doesn't really have the stats.
Okay,
like,
right. The guy who sits down and
just kind of clogs up, and then I want another dude that's getting in and getting it done.
And for Arororo, he also is probably one of the better D tackles at getting his hands up. Like batted passes, this guy's going to give you that.
That is
He's
actually
a bit raw. He still has.
That's a really
develop.
unappreciated stat. Is batted
that's
balls
why I wanted to
for
bring it
sure.
up.
It is. That can ruin a drive. Like if it's 2nd and 10 and you have a wide open receiver and that ball gets batted, you are just like, 3rd and 10 is the worst.
Yeah, he's got to be probably early second.
A row.
Yeah, early
Can
second.
we just say that one more time?
Yeah, it's a row. It's Rook Arororo.
Give it to me again, Downey.
Rook Arororo.
Right, like you got the fast out of that one.
Great name.
So next, let's go to edge / item. Did you have it broke down with linebacker, or did you just go edge too?
I just went edge.
Okay, so I have
But
Dallas.
all my guys are ends.
Dallas Turner 1,
Yep.
Leatu number 2,
Yep.
Jared Verse at 3.
Yep.
I have Darius Robinson if you put him at edge at 4, and then my number 5 was Chop Robinson because of numbers.
Okay,
He tests like every
Yes.
defensive end that explodes. There's no
His
good tape
numbers are ridiculous. Darius, I have at tackle, but
You're still
Chop, I
working
don't
on
even have at my top 5.
I understand it. You guys still working on your fucking...
I know we're bad. I'm catching up, but I
I'm
just
not
want to
at
say
all.
for
Let me
Chop,
drink. All right.
he probably goes first because.
Oh, have you
his
not drank your?
combine
Are
is
you
fucking
waiting? Are you
crazy.
thirsty? I appreciate you. I'm sorry. Thank you for waiting. Cheers,
wait,
cheers
all
to Zach.
right,
I'll drink this.
we'll
I'll
do
drink
this,
this for
we'll do
you
this.
and for Zach
Wait,
and
what
for
were you saying,
everybody
Trev?
involved.
I was just saying, like, sorry, for Chop, I just feel like production-wise, last season,
Correct.
3 sacks. With all that speed, you got 3 sacks. You're not a disruptor on that defense either. It's not like
The
you're
other,
being.
the other kid had more sacks.
Yeah.
Isaac?
Yes, it's not like the offense is like going to your side like trying to take you out of the play, and you're going to go to the next level against NFL tackles, and you're going to produce there. I just have a hard time buying that. I think this guy is a combine freak that is going to be a disappointment. A lot of people I see compare him to Danielle Hunter. I don't think he's that guy. He's got to develop.
My
a lot
goodness, if he's compared to
there.
Danielle Hunter, he's a first-round pick.
Well, that's why he's so.
Danielle Hunter wasn't a first round pick.
But he's so.
But now, what they know about Danielle Hunter now, he's an All-Pro.
Sure, and that's part of Danielle Hunter's game is that speed rush. But this guy, he's a one-trick pony.
That
you tackle an NFL tackle with long arms that can touch him, he's not getting to your quarterback. That's
Fail.
why I don't have him on my list. I think he's the
that.
big boom bust at that spot.
Boom bust.
Instead, I went Marshawn Nealand. I think he's got the right combination of size, speed, and athleticism to develop into a pass rusher that could be somebody. And then Jonah Ellis was my fifth guy, and this guy is slippery as fuck from Utah. This guy, he just seems to slide off everybody and make a play. They were more play disruptors than Chop was.
I would have had Isaac at 6, the other Penn State. Before
I thought about it.
That'd have been
it was
right around
him
6.
and the Alabama.
The other kid from Alabama. Yes, I would have had him underneath those guys.
They were all pretty close at that spot. There's like a separation after the first three.
You could say Leatu could be the first one too. If injury history wasn't a thing, he would be the first one.
If injury history wasn't, you got.
And you could still say Jared Verse could be the second one because of Leatu's injury history. And you could almost push that everybody else goes in front of Leatu because of the injury history.
I heard an interview with Max Crosby, and he shouted out Jared Verse as saying he got that dog in him, and if they drafted that kid, he'd be satisfied.
He's just all power, dude. He just boom off the line.
Got that dog in him.
Yeah.
He's a little older, but he's got it, man. That bend too is really good.
It's all three are first rounders. It just depends on. There's only one going in the 10 because of number 9 is the Falcons. After that. Maybe Miami.
No, it's because
maybe
it's
Chicago.
so thick on that offensive side. We just spoke on that. So it's crazy to think that between D tackle and D end, we're maybe only going to see 4 prospects come off in the top 20 at best.
Yeah, it's a lighter class.
At best, that's crazy. Normally, you're looking at 10 in the top 20, give or take.
Oh yeah, value at that position for sure.
Next position, linebacker. There's none in the first round. Maybe 1 or 2 in the second round.
It's gonna be close.
All right, let's move through it then.
I have Edgerrin Cooper and Peyton Wilson, and then Junior Collison, and then Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Okay, so I have Cooper and Wilson as my 2 and 3. Their athleticism is crazy, but I have Colson at number 1. And the reason being is just the type of linebacker.
Okay, give me some.
Cooper and Wilson are some guys that are going to try and run around.
No, let's go. We're poured. All right, Zach.
Cheers.
Hey, look, this cheers is to Zach because he did amazing. He waited
Thank you.
10 whole minutes to cheers this cider.
Sorry about that. But though Cooper and Wilson are athletic as fuck, they try to run around blocks. Colson I have at number 1 because he runs through blocks, and that's what I kind of like out of my linebacker position.
Angry Orchard, OG.
Yeah, classic.
Crisp
cider.
apple. I mean, this is the treetop
It's just a great drink.
of cider.
Easy.
First one, right? Or one of the first ones. It's just such an easy drink.
This
Staple.
is the first
Simple.
travel Jesus, that available cider that I really do remember that it is an OG, if you will. It's very drinkable. 5%. 5%.
Do you only have 4 linebackers?
Yeah, I didn't go 5.
Okay. Well, I mean, most people don't. Trotter is the other name.
Cedric Gray was one of the ones I saw.
Cedric Gray, I threw ahead of him just because I think his athleticism is closer to Cooper and Wilson. Trotter is more kind of he's.
That's why I had Edgerrin Cooper, Peyton Wilson at 1 and 2 because of their athleticism.
Yeah, and that's why I moved Gray ahead of Trotter because I feel like Trotter is just that
He's
guy.
He's a first or second down running back or linebacker.
I don't know. I think he's given a boost because of that bloodline. Like, he seems like a solid back, but I don't think he excels at anything.
So let's jump to the third best position. I think there could be, depending on how you have them ranked or where you have Cooper, there could be 5 cornerbacks that go off the first round, depending if Cooper's your cornerback or safety or all-around kick-ass kid. I have Quinyon Mitchell 1, Terry Arnold 2, Cooper 3, Nate Wiggins 4, Kool-Aid 5, TJ Tampa 6, Lassiter 7, Rakeshaw 8, Melton 9, and then Mike. How do you say his last name?
Oh, dude.
Mike from Michigan.
Dane. Can you say that, Jack?
Mike from Michigan.
Is that Sainristal?
Is that another
That's
I?
an R.
That's an R. Sainristal. Sainristal.
Mike from Michigan.
Sainristal. That's a tricky one. There's a lot going on over there.
So that's what I got.
He's an older slot player. I've heard him compared to Budda Baker. He's that kind of player. He's a little light in the frame, but explosive. For the corners, I'm pretty similar. Mitchell, Arnold, Wiggins, McKinstry. I have James a little higher just because I gave him a lot of love after playing against LSU, and I thought he played neighbors really well.
Is that from Auburn?
Yeah, that's the Auburn corner. He played more outside than inside. For as small as he is, he packs a punch. But then I also did like a little separate thing because my team, the Niners, are in need of a nickel corner. So I went a little bit more in depth. Like those guys that I already named, I have more on the outside. And for the inside, I started with the kid from Michigan. And then I also listed Phillips from Kentucky, Green, who played safety for Florida State, but it's projected as a possible nickel, along with other safeties. Kitchens from Miami and Taylor Demerson from...
I almost put Kitchens in my top safeties.
I mean, safety slot, that's his position, depending on, your team and what you're going to try and put him
But
at.
a valuable member in the secondary.
For sure.
If you have that, if you have a guy who can play multiple positions in the secondary, it's a lot like a guy on the defensive line who can rotate edge, interior. It's very valuable.
Darius Robinson. So the last position we'll touch on is another position that's unless you have Cooper going in the first round, which most people do, there's not another safety going in the first round.
Yep.
I have Tyler Newman, Cole Bishop, Javion Bullard, and Kalen Bullock.
So
I didn't put 5 because of the Cooper DeJean, and I know you have Rakeshaw is there too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. I threw Rakeshaw in there. He was a corner. I think he projects for the NFL as more of a safety, so I have him as my number 2 safety ahead of Newman. And then I also have Hicks, and then I went Bullock. I think he's the best free safety in the class.
Tackle though.
He's not a tackler. Coverage, free safety, he's that
He's
guy.
not a tackler. What does that mean in the NFL? Literally nothing. That's so minus points, right? Come on. He's not a tackler. If that's what you lead with, he should be dropping down draft boards.
I mean, it depends on your team, I think. You don't need tacklers all over the field. If you have one guy that's not a tackler, I don't think that hurts your team, especially if the way you're using him. He's your center fielder.
I love your train of thought. I appreciate that. Because there is a lot of value in other aspects that said prospect brings. But if you can't tackle in the open fucking field, I do not want you on my team. I'm sorry. I'm the head coach that if I watch you whiff tackle after tackle, you're gone.
Well, that's why Nate Wiggins isn't the number 1 corner.
Right,
he don't tackle
exactly.
either.
No, right. That's who I thought we were talking about.
I'm just saying, if you have one of those guys on your team, you can make that decision. If you have multiple guys on that team that can't tackle, then no, there's no chance of that. But if he's that one guy that that's not his game, then that's not his game.
Tyreek Woolen has proven to be that guy in my scheme.
And I didn't think he was going to be that dude. He's a big dude.
He can't. Well, no, he can cover like a motherfucker. He cannot tackle. He cannot. I mean, he had like 3 good tackles all last year.
I mean, that works if you got the other guys, and that's
And
the
we
only
still
way
don't have
you play
that.
that.
I mean, we're getting there. Spoon's a bad man, but we're gonna do a whole new. Well, Julian Love was there last year. Anyway, let's not go on a Seahawks sidebar. So carry on.
So that was a great breakdown of basically the most
That's
important
it. Yeah.
positions.
No, I love that we did the deeper dive into those that are. The first round is on
Draft is
Thursday.
next Thursday,
Yeah.
25th.
This Thursday. We are 6 days away. It is this
boys.
Thursday. We have crossed over the threshold.
All right, let's do some fandom. Charlie, I'm throw it to you first. I know you went up to Seattle this week. You got a pretty cool fandom. Why don't you start it
Yeah,
off?
my fandom cup is full, bro. Like you as a baseball appreciator will.
That's cool.
We caught an impromptu Mariners game. We did not plan this out. I looked up the schedule once I was out there, and it was like, yo, they're playing tomorrow night at 6:40.
Nice.
We played the Reds. I got this hat. I specifically didn't wear a hat out that morning so that we went to the pro shop so I could have this hat, and this is the one that I selected. And I think my fandom that I want to point out is like how insane Julio Rodriguez was live. Oh my god, he made some plays that were unbelievable. Like he's so fast, and his arm is a cannon and direct on sight. It was so legit. And seeing, like, I guess my overall fandom, you really want to know what it is, was seeing my colors everywhere. Going to the stadium and seeing thousands of people in throwbacks, in currents, in City Connects, my history was all around me for a night, and it was fucking awesome. Like, I would go to so many goddamn Mariner games if I lived anywhere in that area. Like,
Yeah, I feel
you can
that.
get in the building for $10-$20, dude, and it was just a good vibe. Everybody was happy, and we won 3-1, which is great. I got to see Ellie De La Cruz because we played the Reds, so
That's cool.
it was really cool to see the matchup. I got an amazing Griffey bobblehead. I know you can barely see it with the light over here, but it's leaning against a wall, making a robbing catch, which is iconic for him. Climbing walls, he was known for.
Breaking wrists.
It's so fucking. It was. My fandom cup is like overflowing, and I also got to see once again a favorite band. The show was incredible too, you guys. Like I can't leave that out necessarily. I touched on Elysian and Pike, so I went to some breweries out there. But holy shit, man, Julio, you are so fucking impressive live, dude. You just. My jaw was at the floor. You made 3 plays that I don't know if I've ever seen. Well, yeah, I've seen a couple of them. Well, yeah, let's be honest. So I've seen one of them before. But like he threw out Ellie rounding third, one of the fastest guys on the field. He made a beeline down like right center, so like this 400 feet center, like, and threw him out. It was insane. Love it. Thank you. All right, let's do a group fandom now because that was very personalized.
All right, so group fandom this week is NBA players you want to go to the TV for. So 5. Do we want to go all our ones, or do we want to read 1 through 5? How do we want to rock and roll?
Well, I'm gonna bop around. I have a 1, and then everybody else kind of filters off of that. I have Ant Edwards is my number 1. He has been my headliner this year. I think that when he is on, he is the funnest player to watch in the NBA because he's probably the most well-rounded currently. Like, I know that there are other guys who are still in the league that are absolutely electric and that can put on a show on any given night. But I just think that Ant Edwards, he's currently my most watched.
I had him as my 3.
I have him definitely on my list as top consideration. He might be my 1. I didn't rank it out completely, so
Fair enough.
definitely he's one of the guys.
I had
for sure.
Joker as my 1.
Joker as your 1.
I love watching that guy play basketball. Like, offensively, he catches the ball like at the free throw line. You might as well just give the Nuggets points.
His
distribution,
and his spatial awareness is unmatched for a guy who is 7'1" and like almost 260-70 pounds. He is a dude. He's a big fucking human
If you
being.
have a small center and you don't crash on and double team you, put the ball on the floor, back you down, easy 2 there. If you do crash on him, he's dishing to the open guy. I love watching Joker play.
I love that.
Somebody
Great take.
that we probably all wish was on our team.
Yeah.
That's 100%. There's not a team right now that wouldn't like Nikola Jokic.
Steph, I had it 2.
Ooh, yay.
Still love going to watch Steph play. I love the hard work off of running around the court all the time. You never know when the ball's coming out because it's so quick. Steph is definitely my number 2 to watch.
So he's on my list. Some people, you're saying he's maybe starting to take a step back. But I can't get enough of him. I love watching
I can
him
understand
so
that.
much.
The fandom comes real, and that's why he's on there. He's not on my list necessarily.
Okay.
All right. We already talked about AE. I had him at 3. I have SGA at 4.
He's got to be
Yep.
honorable mention.
Yep.
Kid was
On my list.
he was absolutely
Not
balling.
on your list?
He's there. SGA is
You
there.
said
And I
honorable
hate
mention.
because I don't like the fact that they're the ones that got vomiting on the inside.
I just
you
like.
guys.
I think he's.
He's
I really like
fantastic.
watching him
He's so good. I'm not going to put him in the fandom. It's like you not choosing Boston, okay? So don't,
play. I didn't give you tough. Trev
That's
gave
true.
you tough.
That is very true. I do. Okay, you're right. Okay.
My number 5 might be a surprising number 5.
F you, Trev.
All right.
My number 5 might be surprising. I went with Wemby.
Oh shit! He's one of those that slid my mind. Like I can understand that he brings eyes to TVs
He's
for sure.
easily going to be next year in the top 5 players of the NBA, probably, of how he plays. He ended the year so hot, offensively and defensively. He's blocking shots. He's bringing the ball up the court. He plays all 5 positions. He is different, and he is going to be on fire. He stays healthy. Get the fuck out of the way. I know Chet Holmgren had a great year with the Thunder, and I really like Chet too. Wemby is a
Chet,
different animal, man.
Yeah, no, 100%.
His dribbling skills at
once
7'4"
they
are
get
fucking insane.
a Robin for that San Antonio team. It's
God, I hope they do
back in the
something.
mix.
Something.
Dude, okay, all right. I'm going to throw out a name here that we didn't mention, and it's because he's been forgotten about with an injury, and he's fairly injured all the time. Joel Embiid pulls, when he is healthy, he pulls me to a screen. He can drop 50 as a big, and not just from the back you down big man. He's dropping shit from 10, 12, 14 feet, 18 feet, 20 feet, back behind the 3-point, 30 feet. Like, he can shoot as well as dominate. And like, is his consistency 100%? No, but when he is on, it's the Anthony Davis kind of thing, right? Like when Anthony Davis is 100%,
Top 3 defender, top 3 offensive
I mean,
player.
he could change. Yeah, he could have been a LeBron James had he stayed healthy. Like, I mean, he could have compiled some
And he brings
insane
the ball
stats.
to court too. Same thing.
So I love watching Joel's current game when he's healthy. I know that we've kind of touched on, you were low on Philly in the playoffs because of the knee, and he's been kind of shaky and he's not 100%. But when he is 100%, like earlier in the year, he was MVP almost runaway until he got hurt. So I can't not leave him out of this fandom.
Luka and Kyrie probably need to be both be mentioned.
You chose the Mavs to win a series, so if that's going to happen, they have to ball.
Well,
they have to.
Luka's been balling all year, and
50
actually his
is-
defensive numbers are up from what's
Okay.
happening.
Golf
So
clap.
Luka is actually kind of half decently playing defense. I think Luka's in the 1 or 2 spot of getting MVP with Joker. I think those are your probably 2. I think SGA is probably at 3. I think those are your probably top 2 MVP candidates.
Yeah, Luka was my other guy on the list. I will like watching him play, and he's gotten better about like not being such that guy as far as
It's kind of like Olay.
Yeah, kind of choosing shit. So Luka was my 5th.
Olay. Got the red.
Dude, there's a
the
lot
red
of hot
carpet.
shit going on right now, huh?
No, this is honestly, I mean, we're NFL fans, so like we always want the regular season to be happening, but the draft is on Thursday, which is amazing. It is the one moment in spring where NFL fans can relish. But as far as NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, yeah, there is a lot
Baseball's still going on.
Oh, well, of course, yeah. Unfortunately, baseball gets overshadowed as of the moment.
A lot of pitching injuries right now, kind of suspect for the league. You got a couple Cy Young candidates that went down already. It's kind of a bum, but see what happens. Check us out on Instagram and X.
For the cans, if you're listening to us, you're on Spotify and or Buzzsprout, which will lead you to all of the major, podcast addict, things of that nature. It gets you to those apps. We appreciate you. YouTube for the beautiful faces. Thank you for checking out this hat and this Griffey fucking bobblehead. You guys were amazing. You and this A's hat. We're not going to let that go. We should have clowned on it even more, to be fair. You only got an honorable mention. He can take it off. I feel like his debt is paid.
Pod is over.
On that note, you guys, will see you for Pod 58.
All right.